I had to make a video about this because I feel like there isn't a lot of people talking about this news. I know it is still technically a rumor, but the rumor hasn't been debunked as of yet. No one's come out and said it's not true. No one has come out and said it is fully true either. But the fact that this rumor is still floating out on the web is still interesting. And I do see a couple of people talking about the implications of what this would actually mean, but it's not being talked about on a wide scale. Now, this could be because not enough people know about it yet, or it could also be the fact that people aren't taking this as seriously as maybe they should be. Imagine for a second DC and Warner Brothers developing two separate DC universes. One DC universe being developed by James Gunn, that will be all properties of DC characters, and the other being developed by Matt Reeves, which is just solely centered on a Batman universe. Both of these universes developing and making projects at the same time, getting multiple from them in 1 year. Maybe 5-10 years ago, this could have been something that Warner Brothers would have been able to do, but realistically, I don't know how they would make both universes with no money at all, let alone them being able to make one movie in one universe right now. That is how little money they have. There's no guarantee the DCU will even happen with how little money they have. I don't even know where they're getting the money for the Batman 2. This company is at an all-time low. It's only gonna get worse for them. They can't even get one universe right. Now they want to prioritize two universes at once. What is going on with this company? What are they talking about in their board meetings? Now, I've already stated this before, that if you think the Flash bomb really meant nothing and that Warner Brothers was just gonna move forward, drive by Blue Beetle and Aquaman, take the year off next year, even with a couple of DCU TV shows, and then in 2025 they were gonna perk up and say, all right, it's Superman time, who cares about the past? That wasn't going to happen, and that's not what's happening right now. There is a clear indication that if this rumor is true, which a lot of people seem to think it is, there's been conversation on what Warner Brothers should be doing with DC moving forward. I've heard a lot of people state that this is potentially David Zaslav's plan B, that developing a Batman universe from Matt Reeves is just in case James Gunn's DCU doesn't actually end up working out the way they want it to be. And the fact that this news is already coming out now almost makes it feel like plan B is starting to become plan A. In all fairness, if I am asked to choose between a Matt Reeves Batman universe and James Gunn's DC universe, right now, I'm taking the Batman. I am much more interested in that world right now, A, because of how big of a Batman fan I am. B, I think it is a terrible idea to have two Batmans opposing one another, one from ReevesVerse, one from the DCU. C, I've already seen the Batman. I know what it has to offer. I know that world can be good. I don't know what James Gunn has to offer right now. I don't know if that world can be good. D, even though I am keeping an open mind towards James Gunn and his DCU, I gotta be honest, the beginning of this DCU hasn't gone off on the right foot. First of all, he's been making a lot of, in my opinion, poor decisions that have been alienating a lot of the fan base and actually making them hate James Gunn. And his DCU has just been shrouded in so much confusion that we still don't know no full, clear answers. And then also E, it is, once again, I'm gonna keep saying this, a money issue. Where do you want to pour the money in? Into a franchise with Matt Reeves and Batman where you've already seen one success and you know that the future will continue to give you a success? Or do you want to give money to James Gunn in the DCU where it's already not on a great start and there's no guarantee people will be interested? I mean, another thing I'm looking at too is, why would you do this to yourself? Why would you develop a solely Batman universe and a DC universe and have these two universes compete with one another? This is a very weird decision if it happens at the same time. Like I said, now you would have two Batmans who release around the same times. One universe is gonna beat out another universe. How would it look, say for example, the DCU, if Matt Reeves' Batman was killing the game and nobody was watching DCU Batman? Or at least the numbers in comparison show a big difference between the Batman with Pattinson and the Batman from the DCU. When it comes to Batman, you want all eyes on Batman. I don't see how even two people working for the same company, making the same character, can look at each other and say, you know what, your Batman is beating my Batman. That's okay though, we're all in one company. No, DCU is gonna want everyone looking at their Batman, and Matt Reeves is gonna want everyone looking at their Batman. There is a clear competition here, and I don't understand how they would think that's a good idea, because it's just not. I've already gone through a lot of the box office numbers in previous videos, but the pattern seems to be that the darker, more unique storytelling from DC, that gets them their higher box office numbers and more people talk about them. When they have tried to do a connected universe that is created almost like a Marvel, very colorful, very campy, their numbers do not do as well. Now, I'm not saying that's what Batman would be in the DCU, but I can only imagine that the new DCU is going to look a little more similar to Marvel than we have seen from DC in the past. I don't think people are interested in seeing a Batman in a world such as that. I think more people would be interested in watching Matt Reeves' Batman. I've also stated before that Batman will more than likely always make you money, no matter if it's game, movie, comic book, TV show. If it's Batman oriented, if it's Batman himself, it's probably gonna do a pretty solid job. And honestly, if you're going to compete these two universes, then I think the Batman universe would actually beat out the DCU, because I just think right now they're in a situation where Batman is the only character who's making you money, outside of the Joker, of course, because the Joker made $1 billion at the box office, but once again, that's Batman oriented. Clearly, people are very interested in Batman content from DC, comic book fans, and general audiences. Warner Brothers is a company right now that needs guarantees. I don't think they can take chances on maybes and what ifs unless some genius businessman can tell me otherwise. I think the Batman is a guarantee of money, and the reboot of the DCU is not. And I think because Warner Brothers needs guarantees, probably the better path would be the Batman and that sole universe. Now, I know this might make some people upset because they're looking forward to the DCU. I still think that it is a bad time for a DC reboot. Not only has this DC reboot already hit a lot of problems, and we're not even near the Superman movie yet, but this is a company who, in their head office, probably has some sort of chalkboard or whiteboard with tallies of how many times they've tried rebooting and starting a new connected universe. This is a company, for some reason, who hasn't been able to let it go. This is a company who, every time a CEO fails on their version of a DC universe, they miraculously think that the next guy who takes over is going to do it no problem. I think we are hitting a certain time period where people are cooling off on connected universes. I don't think a lot of people are very interested right now in spending another 10 years to get from point A to point Z. I'm not saying connected universes are dead. I'm just saying they are taking a break right now. And I don't think a DC reboot announced this year coming out for 2025 is really that good of an idea. As I've said before, a DC reboot needs to be discussed years from now. DC should simply go back to more original type content, standalone films. Do this for maybe the next 5 to 6 years, and then after, you can look at the market again and see if a DC universe is viable. This also does make a lot of people question the hypocrisy of this company. In all fairness, if you are open to the fact of having a DCU, if you're open to the fact of having Matt Reeves' Batman universe, if you're open to the fact of letting Todd Phillips finish his Joker universe, if you're open to the fact of having other creators make their content, like apparently J.J. Abrams' Superman film that's still in development, or maybe other animated shows or shows like Superman and Lois that don't take place in the DCU. Why are they not allowing Zack Snyder to finish his DC universe? If they seem to be okay, if they seem to be fine with opening the door for multiple universes to exist, why can't Zack Snyder's exist then? They talked a big game about only having one solidified DCU, but they're still allowing other Elseworlds projects, even though it was specifically Elseworlds projects that were getting in the way of having a solidified, connected DC cinematic universe. The logic is backwards here. None of this is making sense. One moment, it's just Elseworlds stuff. The next moment, it's just gonna be the DCU. The moment after that, it's the DCU and Elseworlds. Now it's the DCU and the Batman verse. What the hell does this company want to do? This entire situation is honestly no better than the power grab situation that Dwayne Johnson was in with Warner Brothers and DC. I think the CEOs and the executives inside DC and Warner Brothers are back at it again. I think some of these people are saying, go full force on James Gunn's universe. No, do the Batman universe with Matt Reeves. No, let's go back to Elseworlds. No, let's do something different. No, let's do this. I still think there is a huge infighting within this company because they are in such a dire need of money and good reputation with the fans that nobody there knows what they should do. You know, just a couple of months ago when James Gunn announced his DCU slate, it was all about not confusing the fans and having one connected universe. How would this make things any better? There is something to be excited about with Matt Reeves' Batman universe and Matt Reeves potentially making multiple Batman related projects every single year. But this isn't going to help the general audience become less confused. If anything, this is going to segregate a lot of the fan base into liking picking one thing over the other thing. We've already gone through massive segregation with the Snyder universe because of what Warner Brothers decided to do. We've gone through more segregation after what they've tried to do with the Hamadaverse and whatever other garbage they've done over there. We're going through it again. Overall, I think this is only the beginning. As the days, the weeks, the months pass by, we're going to start to see a lot more reports, and we're going to start to see a lot of things within this company crumble. This company has a huge decision to make for the future. Who even knows if it's going to be Warner Brothers' decision to make? Because we could find ourselves in a situation where DC is purchased by somebody else, and then that company is going to choose, do we go with Gunn? Do we go with Reeves? Or do we do something else entirely different? But that is the situation at hand, everyone. As the days go on, I am sure we will see what else comes up of this situation, but let me know in the comments below right now, would you rather have the ReevesVerse or would you rather have the new DCU reboot? And let me know in general what you think will happen. That is it for this one, everyone. So until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.